Um, Welcome. We are here tonight to play, well, depending on how you're counting, it's either our session 4 or our 5th session of Sorcerer by Ron Edwards. We had one session, which was a kind of session 0, creating our characters and demons and learning a little bit about the world. And then we've had 4, this will be our 4th session of playing with those characters and demons. We are here with the Gauntlet, which is an online role-playing community. If you are coming across this video and are kind of curious about this role-playing community, I would urge you to go to gauntlet-rpg.com on the internet, and that will give you information about our organization. You'll see that there's a very active calendar that is kept up. There's a number of podcasts, a monthly zine called Codex. So lots of good stuff that is there. And also I suggest that if you're interested in this game or this style of game, and are interested in finding out more about it, or perhaps purchasing a PDF, you can go to adeptplay.com, which is a site that is maintained by Ron Edwards, and you can get a PDF copy there. Just very quickly want to remind everybody that in the Character Keeper, we have our lines and veils tab. So we have a line up for sexual assault, meaning that that's a topic that will not figure in the game. And then we have veils up under torture and violence to children and animals, meaning that those are, if they're veiled as they are right now, those are topics that could be mentioned, but in terms of the specific details of those types of things, that will be strictly in the wings, could be mentioned, but would not be described or kind of dwelt upon, in the spotlight. And of course, we have a couple other safety tools of note, the X card, which we talked about before. So if something is happening in the game that is making the game not fun for you, please, by all means, you should avail yourself of the X card. And we also have the open table policy, meaning that if at any point you need to leave the table, you may freely do so. And, we, as a courtesy, if you're able to, it's nice to know whether or not you'll be returning to play. But again, if you're not able to do that, it's perfectly fine to leave the table. And with that, I'm kind of going through that rather quickly because we've talked about those things before. One last thing, of course, the lines and veils is always a living. Those are both living lists, so that if at any point you want to add a line or a veil during the course of play, you can always do so. All right, so with that out of the way, why don't we go to the characters in the Character Keeper, and we'll just go on and maybe take these in Character Keeper order. And, if you could just reintroduce yourself to us, and then also introduce yourself and your demon for us. And then with that little introduction, maybe say a little bit about what your character is up to right now, or what transpired the last we saw your character. And so, Greg, if we can start with you.
Sure. My name is Greg Fulford. My pronouns are he, him. And I am playing Jackson Nelson, a young man who had been living as a hustler and managed to find a way to bind a demon to himself by tattooing it onto his body. So now he's got a demon in the form of a living tattoo on his body. And using its powers, he has managed to find himself a wealthy lover and set himself up in style. But his lover lucked into a unexpected commercial real estate deal for a bar in South Beach, and the circumstances of it seemed kind of strange, so I went to investigate and found that there are indeed some nefarious goings on there. Some what looks like sorcerous activity and some drug dealing. I managed to steal some of the drugs and got them analyzed by some of my connections, and now am planning to go back and see if I can find out more about what's going on, and planning also to take those drugs and see what happens. So,
okay, and Stephen, see a little bit about Taylor and his or their demon.
Yeah, hey there, I'm Steven, he, him, and I am playing Taylor, or at Smart Not Swift. I am a Twitter personality. I've been having a lot of issues with, I guess, getting high on demonic channeling the past couple sessions. I had a bit of a, I feel like I was probably pretty zonked out by whatever mystic shit that Zip and I got up to last session, which is why I had to bow out midway through, and yeah, I think that's probably what happened to Swift.
Okay.
Smart Not Swift.
Yeah, and Stephen, you want to tell us a little bit about Taylor's demon?
Oh, right. I have bound Pierce, or hashtag Percy No Mercy, my Reddit troll / demon / hacker. They are in my phone. They live in my phone, and I guess we're sort of bad friends to each other. I think that's maybe a good way of summarizing our relationship. Bad friends.
Okay, and then finally, let's hear a little bit about Zip. And Nicholas, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us about your sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Nicholas, he, him. I am playing Zip, who uses the pronouns he, him. Zip is a charismatic real estate agent who is moving timeshares, and let's see, part of a prosperity, I hate using the word cult because Zip would never use the word cult for the group of people that he hangs out with, which is how he found his demon. So his demon is, its name is Prosperous Favor. It is a possessing demon that used to wear. And a session or two ago, or the demon cast the demon out of Zip and into a driver of a Uber vehicle. And so Zip's feeling a little bit sad about that, but has a new interest in his life. He's kind of taken a liking to Kontrakt, which is another demon that really seems like a great fit to some of his weaknesses when it comes to legalese and whatnot, and thinks that he left a really good impression with Kontrakt as well.
Yeah, and so it seems like Kontrakt, yeah, is interested in what Zip may have to offer, and maybe having second thoughts about its current binding to somebody named, it seems like it's somebody named Atiti Gilchrist, that Kontrakt has some type of association with.
A very hard person to like nail down and say, where are they? Who are they?
Yes,
Kind of a mysterious figure.
Right. I think you've seen a picture or two of Atiti and heard a little bit about
a very
her.
stern figure as well, if I remember the picture correctly. She was not a smiler when it comes to cameras.
Right. Seemed to be, I think, also kind of slight in terms of stature, but yeah, definitely seemed to, exude a kind of seriousness and focus and gravitas to her. So, all right. So let's start with Jackson. I feel like, from the events from, our last session, we could just move ahead in time a few days. And in the afternoon one day, Jackson, maybe I should maybe we could maybe add something. Let's say that in these days, I mean, you had talked about like these pills that you had analyzed, and it was established that they don't, like your connections have been able to kind of figure out that, okay, there's like a special cocktail that's kind of working in those pills that, right, there's like some microdose of LSD and some other substances that are in there, and it seems like somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, but they were not from South Beach, right? I mean, that this was like new, right? These pills. Let's say that as a couple days passed, you do get word back that I think it was the guy's name Austin was the fellow that you had talked to. He does send a kind of quick word back that he's kind of just heard from somebody that pills that seem kind of similar to this, that somebody had run into them up in the kind of New York, New Jersey area. Okay, up there, it seems like maybe that somebody up there who has this is maybe trying to kind of make some inroads in South Beach with their kind of special concoction of drugs. So that little bit of information you come across, but one afternoon, like a few days down the road, you are arriving back at the home of James Wallace, and you see parked nearby a kind of striking car. It's like a fluorescent lime green color. It's a kind of lowrider Chevrolet Impala. You haven't really seen that in the neighborhood before. And as you walk up to the door, the door is closed, but you can clearly see that it was forced open. That there are kind of clear signs. You wouldn't necessarily see it from the street, but like when you start to kind of walk up there, you see that there are signs of a forced entry. What do you do?
Honestly, I think I just walk straight in.
Okay, so you walk straight in. The door is probably was locked, but it is locked no more, or the lock is clearly broken. And just walking in, you hear some voices that are coming from the living room area. You hear James Wallace's voice, and you hear two other voices, a man and a woman. James is clearly afraid and confused, and says things like, I don't understand why you're concerned about me. You hear the pink flamingo just fell into my lap. I don't know what this business is with drugs. Okay, so that's like what James is saying. The man and the woman are saying things like, we don't need new blood on our turf. You're not welcome in that area. We know that you're kind of looking to make some inroads on the drug trade, that type of thing. And James is like afraid, but he's like confused about that there's a sense that he's somehow kind of involving himself in some type of criminal enterprise, and that he's moving in on some type of turf.
Yeah.
So what does Jackson want to do? They have the man and the woman, and James for that matter, are obviously occupied with each other. They don't seem to know that you have entered into the domicile.
Yeah, I think really all I'll do is activate my cloak power and get close enough so that if they try anything, I can intervene. But it sounds like he's just being threatened at this point. So.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you go on? We'll go on and roll for this. So your cloak power, which works off of your demon's power of 5, correct? And I'm gonna, they're gonna be rolling on their will. I suppose I should roll once for each of them. Do you have the roll for your party?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to roll twice. One for the man and one for the woman. I'll roll clear for the man. And
ooh,
I think you rolled 8-sided dice.
You are correct. Yay!
Well,
I can clear out mine. So
yeah, I have an 8, 4, and 3. And if you just want to roll a different color, that's fine. And I'll roll green.
Oh, there we go. Delete selected.
There you go. And then I'm going to roll green for the woman. All right. So it turns out
Much
pretty
better.
well for you, right? I mean, so the eights for the man. I mean, so you're going to have really two
One
victories.
success.
Yeah, over. Yeah, you have success. So you're getting kind of close, and the conversation is continuing. You know, the woman is tall. Pretty physically impressive. She is. She looks like she works out a little bit. Has a kind of flat top haircut that she's sporting. The guy is shorter than she is, but kind of a burly shape. And they have, you know, James down on, you know, he's sitting on the couch, and they're kind of standing in front of him. It's kind of clear from his face that he's been slapped a few times. They've been, you know, and they're clearly trying to kind of, in addition to what they're saying, they're kind of physically, right, intimidating him.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. If they try anything, then
Yeah,
I will attack.
Okay. I would say, you know, that they do slap him a few more times. I don't know if that reaches the threshold where you would want to
Yeah.
do something. All right.
As soon as they do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you see the woman, you know, kind of smacks him across the face. So what do you want to do at this point?
Throw a confuse at her and
Okay. So with the confuse, I'm just going to go. You're going to roll. Let's go on and clear. I will let you carry over those two. You have two victories, right? From
just one, I think.
Well, you have a. Oh, that's correct. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. But you'll get to roll that one victory into this. I'm going to go and clear this, and then for the confuse. You're going to roll your demon's power. What does it say? So the user matches the demon's power against the target's will to force the. Okay, so I'm going to roll 3 dice again. That's the will of this this woman, and you can roll your. So you're going to roll 6 dice now, right? Because you get the one victory that you get to roll in.
Sure.
I rolled pretty well for a 3 dice. 9, 8, and 4. But you have another victory there. So you know, you see it taking effect, right? I mean that she's, you know, was, you know, just slapped him and was perhaps in the midst of trying to do something else, but she's kind of like paused there. So you have some opportunity. What would you want to do at this point?
At this point, I want to sort of grab her and kind of get her in a sort of arm lock, you know, lock up one of her arms so she can't move it, and throw her into her partner, or push her more, just like grab her and barrel into him.
Okay. So this is going to be using your stamina. And did you want to use the boost goes into will. So you're going to just use your Jackson is going to use his stamina to do this, the physical.
Yep.
Okay. So you'll get to roll 5, plus you can roll that. You still have another victory, right? That you can roll into this one. So that'll give you 6. And she's confused. And you're just trying to kind of like You're not trying to cause her damage, but are just trying to kind of physically remove her and force her into the partner.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like, okay, so this is a stamina. But she's going to be pretty vulnerable. So why don't I think I'm just going to reduce her to one die to roll, kind of that she'll not get to roll her full stamina, but just a single die, and you'll get to roll 6, and we'll see what transpires with that. So I'm going to go in and clear. I'll roll my 1. A measly 3.
So 4 victories.
Yes, 4 victories. So I think it's fair to say that this is a pretty forceful, action. Do you want to describe it? I mean, I think you have the upper hand, and you are accomplishing what you're setting out to do. So I want to describe that and to just say what you want to do to follow up on this. Like, do you want to say something or do something?
Not really say anything at this point, but or maybe just James, get out of here, and sort of move in, like grab her hand, twist it so that she can't move, and push her into her partner to get them both off balance and hopefully knock them down.
Yeah, and I think they're also, because you had that cloak on as well, and right, so like that they're really caught. I mean, you had the cloak on, and she on top of that was confused, and so this is like hitting her, in a way where it's like, how did this even happen? It's like, we were there, I was aware of the surroundings, but then suddenly, here's this kind of imposing physical presence. So you do that. James is gonna take the opportunity to leave the room, and he's gonna slam. You hear him go out, slam a door, lock it, and he says, "I'm calling the cops." So everybody hears that, right?
Yep.
And I think what these two people are going to do, the man says, "Let us go. We don't need to fight this out." And the woman is, she's kind of struggling there. You still got a good grip on her. Do you want to let them go, or do you want to do anything else at this point? They both do seem like they want to leave the premises at this point.
Yes.
And you kind of control things. I mean, you're kind of like with your roles. I think you're kind of in the driver's seat in terms of where you want to take this.
I'll say, get out and don't come back. I'm aware of what's going on at that club, and I'm not real happy about it either. So trust me that it's being taken care of, but touch James again and I will make you pay.
Okay, so with that, the two of them will make a hasty exit out the front door. That they do make their way over to the lime green lowrider Impala, and kind of make their way off. James, he's shaken up, but he's really happy to see you. He kind of embraces you. You are his hero, saving the day. Kind of lets you know that he doesn't know who those people are, but they clearly are thinking that they know that he is the new owner of the Pink Flamingos, and they had some kind of sense that James was involved in some type of drug trafficking using the Pink Flamingo as a cover, and they weren't really happy about that because whoever they're kind of working for is that's their turf. He kind of and also like he would add that that they were saying that something like, oh, I know that you and others are kind of trying to take over those blocks around the Icy and Spicy and the Pink Flamingos, but it's not going to happen. Right? They were telling, James, you and whoever else you're associated with in those, businesses, that they were wanting to kind of snuff that out, right? To kind of put an end to it, right? And they think that there's some type of criminal activity that is using these different businesses in that area as some type of cover. Okay. So let's go on and go back to Taylor and Zip. Let me get a sense of things. Like, the last time we saw Zip, he was involved in he was involved in that conversation with Kontrakt, and then there was also that odd encounter at the end of our last session with Lyra Velton, the police detective who's didn't really. What was kind of set up to investigate Zip, but didn't really know what she was supposed to find.
Yeah, she has no idea what she's looking for at all. That's got to be, it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of curious as to what would Taylor have been up to after that wild night at the Icy and Spicy, where Taylor was kind of instrumental in kind of working up the crowd.
I mean, I think Taylor is probably I think I'm probably like taking part in the party and getting pretty well, I guess like shit-faced is the word. I think that's probably my current state. I think that I was kind of riding the high of the party.
Mm-hmm. I think with that, it is the case that the day after, when you kind of come back to reality. There are, once again, there's that kind of ghost account, smart, not Swift, but spelled Knot, the kind of bad pun that does have some pictures of you, at the party. That there clearly are kind of a few shots that are meant to make you look kind of silly. That they're not flattering photos, and you also get a message from somebody who is presenting himself as Mephistopheles, saying, "Stay off the turf." Stay away from the Icy and Spicy in the vicinity and I won't have a problem with you.
I kind of go and glower down at my phone, and I send back an emoji of like a devil, a smiley devil, poop 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 question mark.
And the response is, you don't know who you are dealing with. And you know, I guess an emoji of a knife and an emoji of a fist, a kind of closed fist. And also just a message, you and Zip are finished.
Yeah, that last bit is probably the most concerning to me. Zip, I'm just, where am I? Where am I anyway? I have no idea. I fell asleep at some point and now I'm awake. I look around.
If I might, could I be in my office and this is coming from like a file cabinet that I have or some sort of furniture?
That's fair.
Or the closet or
closet, yeah, something.
Yeah. And to kind of stir in one other element, let's also say that one message is saying, oh, and James Wallace is also history. I don't think you all know who that would be referring to, but that name gets kind of mentioned as also kind of in the target. Yeah. So yeah, Taylor, you're getting this. You're we say in the closet.
And it's like, who's in there? Taylor, is that you? What are you doing in there?
You know, I a lot happened last night, and I'm probably only proud of like 20% of it.
I know. So much happened last night. Wasn't it amazing? Wait, you're only proud of 20% of it?
Like maybe 30%.
Okay. I thought we did great. I mean, I lost track of you like pretty early, but man, I had the best night. You would not believe it.
Cool. This conversation would be really a lot easier to have if you open this up.
Oh, you mean like all the way? Yeah, you're right. It was like this.
Yeah. I come tumbling out.
All right. So what's up?
Do you know what James Wallace? Apparently I'm getting his death threats now.
I don't. Oh, but man, you know, something strange did happen.
Oh yeah, somebody is also threatening our lives as well. I was that goes without saying. So I was mostly confused about the James Wallace thing.
Someone's threatening our lives?
I assume he sent me a punch and a knife emoji, which might just be 2/3 of a game of rock, paper, scissors. So
half really, because it takes 2 blades to make the scissors. So So I met this this PD, I guess it was this morning, just a little bit ago, before I came back to the office, and she had. I wonder if she knows who this Wallace is or why someone is threatening us. She was tailing me for some reason, and she doesn't even know why. How weird is that?
And I do think she left a card with you as well, right? So
yeah, she did.
Have contact information if you.
What do you think? Should we get the authorities involved? It is a death threat on my life. I'm not very comfortable with that.
So here's the thing: that who exactly was it that was tailing you?
Lyra Felton. Here's her card.
Yeah, and also wasn't there that whole thing where we were being tailed by those cops?
I think it was her both times. I got sick of it. I pulled over. I approached. I said, "Hey, what's the deal?" We went back to the Icy and Spicy, had a few drinks, talked it over. She has no idea what she's looking for. Someone else is pulling the strings and having her do surveillance.
I mean, I guess as long as you're convinced it's there's not some like other mysterious third party we need to in the cops that we need to like be careful of.
You know, I'm pretty concerned about that, actually. She seemed so clueless. In order to have someone looking that's as clueless as she is, something shady is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you mention it, I don't know why I didn't think about that earlier.
But I mean,
Oh, by the way, I need help finding someone. Can you find someone?
okay, now I know people your age don't understand what Facebook is, but all right, do you have an account?
No. What is Facebook?
Okay, so we take a little bit of a break to set up your Facebook account. Okay, now who do you want to find?
I'm looking for a TT, Gilchrist. She is bound to that wonderful contract that we met yesterday.
Right. So like do we have any leads on that?
Just the words of the contract. Like what sort of like leads? Well, we know that she does a lot in New York, right? You told me that the other day. You kind of gave me a little bit of information about the Kingpin and Miss Magic and some criminal dude and XP Grind. She was involved in that.
Right, I maybe did that.
So
Continue.
you called her Miss Magic, but now I know that she's a TT. So I found another photo of her. I probably have it in my office, so I grabbed that photo and show it to Taylor. And
that is her, but so was there anything?
and that's contract. Look right there. See in her other hand, contract.
Yeah. So what am I seeing here, Robbie? Because I don't know. I'm not familiar with this photo.
Okay, it's a figure of this. Presumably, it's a TT Gilchrist, who she is possibly another sorcerer. I think that there's a sense that she has some sorceress powers at her disposal. She is affiliated with, it seems, Kontrakt. I think a sense that Kontrakt is bound to her as her demon. Kontrakt seems to be some type of well, likes to take the form of papers, as his desired form. And she is also associated with perhaps an even more shadowy figure of some type of criminal mastermind from the New York, New Jersey area.
Being Franz, right?
Franz, yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you all have a sense that Franz is actually in South Beach. I mean, he really seems to be kind of off, but Ititi she's also kind of shadowy, but Kontrakt is, if Kontrakt is bound to her as a demon, right? Maybe a little more likely that she may be in the area, but you never, I think, actually seen her. You've heard about her a little bit, and you have this photograph. She's a slight woman, but with a very, from the photograph, a really kind of serious, kind of piercing gaze, kind of a sour face she has.
And so I look into your eyes and I say, Taylor, what do you remember? Do you remember summoning the papers and that green glowing two demonic forces?
Yeah, I remember that. Good to know that actually happened. Good.
Yeah, that was real. I saw that too. And so obviously Atiti has something to do. You were so right. There are other forces at work. Something powerful, something that can bind two forces, two demons.
So the question is then, I guess.
And the more we talk about it, the more I say, law enforcement, maybe not the right answer. But what's the question?
Is that a trick question or?
Oh, I thought you said, but the question is, so maybe I just misheard you.
Oh, okay.
So I will then ask the question, what do we do about this death threat that I have received through your phone? That's probably more important than everything else we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's definitely concerning. I guess I could see if Pierce of Percy No Mercy could do a trace for me. That might accomplish something. And I guess Percy No Mercy, can you put a trace on whoever this rando creeper is? Question mark.
And the rando creeper is Atiti.
I guess on whoever was sending the death threats, right?
Oh, okay.
Or do we want to search Atiti first?
No, I think the death threat first. What was it? It was like some demon's name or something.
Mephistopheles was right.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. So Percy No Mercy is going to try that. Is that correct? It's going to try to see. All right. So let me go in and clear the dice. I think we'll get a roll and we'll see what Percy No Mercy. And I think with this, because you have both that perception working and you have the cover kind of working as well. So I think I'm inclined to give you a bonus to this. So you've got the 4 power plus a bonus. So that would give you 5. And that's going to be up against.
It's a very poor roll on my account.
Oh, no.
Let's see.
All right, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Just
the one success though for me. So
yeah, I think Percy No Mercy kind of tries to kind of trace this. I think it ends up whoever this Mephistopheles is kind of becomes aware that someone or something is trying to kind kind of hunt him down, and he just responds with another threat and says, you know, not a good choice. You know, hand raising the middle finger, and and says, you know, you, the icy and spicy pink flamingos, and then fire emoji, right?
What's with the pink flamingos? I say, looking over your shoulder.
I think it's okay. It's that really stupid pun that they keep making, you know, with the flaming ingots. And you know, I think it's probably going to be about setting the flaming ingots on fire. That makes sense now.
Oh yeah, they brought those over once. Those were pretty good.
How long is it just that you're really slow on the uptake? Because I thought you're invested in that place at the moment.
I mean, they don't have the ingots usually. Normally, they have the hot root beer float, the spicy root beer float.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just a special thing. Normally, we don't have that. So, no lead on the phone is what you're saying.
No. It's flaming pink flamingos. That's the drink. So I guess is it maybe telling us to go to the club? Although this person also wants to kill us, so I feel like they're not. I don't know.
And you all know that the Pink Flamingos is like a few blocks up the right.
Once you start talking about it, I connect those dots and say, "Oh yeah, that other bar." I mean, I'm back and forth. I kind of feel like Lyra might be able to help us out, especially with the death threat. That's the sort of thing that PDs, I think they do. I mean, I've never had a death threat before, but before all this magical stuff, that would be my go-to. Just call the cops, let them know. Maybe they'll get us a bodyguard or two. I think that's how it works in the movies.
Yeah, I guess we could use a bodyguard or two. I guess, because I have no idea either. I think, well, no, I the character have no idea. So I think if you say let's get some bodyguards from the police, that sounds like a great plan to me.
Two clueless individuals calling the police. And what do we know about the death threats? It came from Mephistopheles, you said?
Yeah.
So I call up Lydia to hopefully catch her at her desk or on her cell phone.
Okay. We'll do maybe a quick scene with this and then maybe take a break. Do you want to have this on the phone or did you want to meet her face to face?
I was thinking the phone. I think just spill it all over the phone. Be like text messages, fire buildings.
Okay, so
you saw Taylor doing it, and now you're just trying to.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I don't follow anything you're saying. Useful sentences.
She's gonna you call her. She's gonna and you're calling her on the number that was on her card. She says, when she finds that, you start asking her these kinds of questions, and she kind of quickly says, I'm going to call you from a different number. she asks for your phone number and says, "I'll give you, give me your phone number and I'll call you right back from a different number."
I give it to her.
Okay, so she hangs up, and then you see another number kind of calling you. She says, I'm sorry about this kind of cloak and daggers stuff, but look, I apologize about me hassling you, and I'm kind of frankly embarrassed that I seem to be kind of sent to kind of investigate you for some kind of strange reason.
I mean, I think this is worthy of investigation. We're getting death threats here.
I agree. I don't know that you can count on the South Beach Police Department to help you out, though, because I think I'm beginning to see what's going on.
When are we getting the bodyguards?
Yeah. Are you gonna send like some bodyguards? How do we get protected here?
She breaks out and says, "Bodyguards? I work for the police. We're not. If you want bodyguards, there are other businesses that will handle that type of thing."
She's not sending bodyguards.
Why not?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
You gotta explain this to Taylor just a sec, and I hand you the phone. You're better with phones, is what I say as I hand it.
Okay, why are we not getting bodyguards?
And she said, "Who am I talking to? Who is this?"
Oh, I'm at Smart Not Swift. You can follow me on Twitter as well as Snapchat.
You hear some kind of clicking of like a keyboard, and she says, "That's you." And, as she's kind of looking at this, she says, I'm a police officer. I'm not a bodyguard. If you want bodyguards, but I will say this, your friend, I think he would be wise to be careful. The story she's going to spin out is that she thinks that some of the established criminal elements in South Beach are concerned that somebody new is trying to move into town and take business away from them. And they are specifically concerned with the area around the Icy and Spicy and the Pink Flamingos, because there's something strange going on with new real estate deals that are happening, and like old owners are moving out, new owners are moving in, and the established South Beach, the higher ups in the kind of criminal scene are not happy about it. And Lyra is kind of piecing together that there are higher ups in the police department that are either in cahoots with this, or at the very least are being kind of paid off. Right. That they're kind of okay with allowing, things to continue as they were, and are going, if, at the very least, if the criminal elements from South Beach are looking to kind of push the kind of new people coming into that area, push them out, the police chief and some of the other higher ups are just going to let that happen.
After you hang up, I'm like, well, did you convince her to send some guards?
No,
Crap.
no, I did not.
Well, that was useless.
She does sound very concerned though about what's going on, and she says things like Zip seems like a really nice guy, and
Oh yeah, she sounded really concerned though. Like she'll be really sorry when we die.
Well, that's great.
So I have a little bit after 9 o'clock. Would this be a good time to take a break and maybe come back at say quarter past the hour? So I just typed in some names if we need to. I always like names to make things a little bit more focused and concrete. So like this talk with Lyra, in terms of like the currently established kind of South Beach criminal elements, like one of the most prominent names, and she'll mention Anastasia Rago, which a lot of people in crime enforcement kind of have deep suspicions that this woman is like one of the kind of chief criminal elements. And then Xander O'Malley is the chief of the South Beach Police, and Lyra thinks that he certainly is being paid off or involved in some way with the South Beach crime syndicate, such as it is, right? And then has this idea that there's somebody from outside South Beach who seems to be trying to kind of establish a foothold in South Beach, and the kind of people like Anastasia are not really happy about it. And right, you kind of know that the icy and spicy, it's that area, right? The icy and spicy area that she feels like is the particular target of the outside kind of crime elements. Let's go back first to Jackson and see what Jackson's next move would be.
Well, his plan had been to take some of the drugs that he had taken and go to the pink flamingos and try and find out more details about the drug trade there specifically. He's taking the drugs because now he thinks that they're going to boost his magical abilities, and or if something weird happens, well, then now he knows something weird's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan.
Okay. Now are you planning to go to the Pink Flamingos?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to go with James?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So James is kind of concerned about the recent turn of events, and right, he has no real idea of like what these people are accusing him of, and right, it's just like how did they get into their head that I was somehow involved in
So maybe we need to back up, and when he starts talking about that, I'll tell him that look, I thought the circumstances of this deal with you getting the pink flamingos were kind of weird, so I did a little investigating on my own, and that drug trade they're talking about definitely going on, and so that clause about keeping the management on sounds kind of fishy for that reason, because it seems like they're the ones who are doing this.
James is concerned. Well, you know, if I had an inkling of this, I don't know that I would have gone through with the deal. I mean, I don't want to get my hands. If people want to take drugs, that's fine with me. But if it's illegal, in terms of the trafficking, I don't want to have that kind of coming down on me.
Yeah, and I think you don't need this place, so you should probably see if you can get out of it. But given the weird way you got in, I wonder how easy that's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, do you think we should? I mean, maybe the thing to do is just to, be upfront and honest about it, and call the police and see, just let them know that I made this deal, let them know about the contract, and say it's kind of come to my attention that there's some, I have this clause that I have about the management, and that was a requirement of the deal. But it's going to come to light that the management of my company is up to something illegal.
That's not the worst idea. The only thing that worries me is if police involvement is going to also end up involving those criminals who were roughing you up earlier. Maybe you should get out of town for a bit.
There's an idea. Like you, I mean, I'd love to kind of clear my mind. Are you? Do you want to come with me? Go up to Charleston or Savannah, or make our way up the coast, get a nice B&B.
I'd love to, but I think it's probably safer if you go alone and don't necessarily let me know where you're going. Or, maybe, make that information available to me if I need it, but I mean, you know my past. I've got some connections with the drug crowd down here, so I might be able to help keep an eye on things. And
yeah, so James says this sounds, at least for the next few days, that sounds good. But look, why don't we stay in touch every evening? You can. I'll give you a call on your cell phone, and we can touch base and see what's going on.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that, I think, James is thinking, yeah, getting out of South Beach for a little bit maybe maybe worthwhile. And so he kind of packs his things up, and he's going to take your suggestion and head out. So at that point, what are you going to go down to the Pink Flamingos then?
Sure.
With your pills that you've come across.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's kind of we'll kind of leave you in transit then. Heading down. Okay. Right. Having seen James off and going down there. So let's see what Taylor and Zip's next move would be in the wake of Lyra's suspicions about some type of turf war that's taking place, and this idea that at least a lot of like higher ups in the police department are backing the established South Beach crime syndicate, and kind of seeing then any kind of new owners moving in are kind of being kind of targeted as and identified as people who are whether they know it or not, they're assumed to be part of the kind of outside criminal elements that are trying to get a foothold. I don't hear you. I think you need to put there you go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So Zip has worked himself up and up, realizing that the police are not going to be as helpful as he needed. And Taylor, we've got to take action into our own hands. We've got to deal with these criminal organizations before they can pull. You value your life, right?
I mean, yes, top 5 things.
So if we don't take care of them, they're going to take care of us.
I mean, so what's your plan then?
I don't have one yet. I'm just saying we have to take care of them. We got to figure out who they are. We got to make them disappear. It's a cut off the head of the snake situation. I don't remember that phrase, but I've heard it 100 times. We got to identify them. We got to know who the head is. That's the plan. Figure out who the head is. Take care of them.
So, yeah, I guess, because I'm just kind of trying to think through how like in character we do this then.
If only we knew someone with criminal underground connections,
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, we do have that one name we need to look into still. That random name of the other guy that I got a death threat for. We should probably. Oh yeah, he's probably related.
He might know more than we know.
Yeah, I mean, out of character, I think that's probably true. I think that we've definitely demonstrated that pretty much everyone knows more than we do. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking this guy up.
Yeah, and so this is James Wallace, right? Was the name that you got, and you would quickly find, and even Zip, because Zip would know how to search real estate listings and things like that. You would quickly find out that James Wallace is, among other things, the new owner of the Pink Flamingos, right? I mean, that's all part of public record, right? These real estate transactions. You don't know the specific details of it, but you know, so you would find that out, and you would find out, you know, that he's a kind of wealthy resident of the South Beach area, and that the Pink Flamingos had recently passed ownership hands, and he's the new owner.
I say we call him up, say, hey, random question. We received death threats. Have you received any?
Right.
What do you know?
Okay. Is there a phone number I have here?
Yeah. You have a phone, and I feel like maybe we say that this is happening after he is left. But Jackson, you hear the phone ringing at your residence before you kind of head out.
Sure, I'll answer.
All right. Is it Zip who places the call? Zip is like
Sure.
ready to place the call.
I did a lot in the last call. You go ahead.
Hey. Sorry, what was the name of the non-player character?
This is James
James
Wallace.
Wallace.
Hey, is this James Wallace? This is Zip. You don't know me, but I've received death threats, and I think you might have as well.
Is that so? Well, this is not James. This is
Oh,
this is his partner. But
can you put James on the line?
Sorry.
No, I'm afraid I can't. He's not at home right now. You said
Crap.
you'd received death threats, and James has too?
Question, has James also received death threats? I was thinking we received a threat towards us and James. And so I was wondering, you know, we're trying to figure out what this is all about. The cops seem like they're not going to do anything to help us out. It seems like we're on our own. And so I was hoping that James maybe knew something that we don't know.
Well, he certainly had some unwanted attention from what appear to be some local criminal toughs.
That's what I was afraid
no
of.
death threats.
No death threats. Just what did it look like? Did it look like they were trying to off him?
No, they were upset about some stuff going down at Pink Flamingos, the club
Yeah, they
he
also
bought into
threatened
recently.
Taylor. You read those pictures, meaning that they threatened to burn down the two buildings, right?
Oh no! I think they were just flaming Pink Flamingo.
Oh, I thought they were trying to burn the places down.
No, that's the name of the drink. Remember?
Right. The flaming ingot. You're right. Okay, they also apparently like the drinks.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we should meet.
Where?
Do you
I mean, you
have
could come down
someplace
to the Icy and Spicy. I like the place. They seem to like me, but I think those two places, they're too hot right now. We got to go somewhere else.
Sure.
I also, to be fair, I think maybe they liked you because they didn't notice the drug dealing. But okay.
Drug dealing.
Oh no, I don't. We don't know that. Sorry, I forgot. my mistake.
Well, what about the Starbucks near there? Let's.
Yeah. Starbucks like 3 blocks away. That's the one you're talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Blah blah
Yeah.
blah
We
blah
can.
blah. Yeah.
We'll meet you at blah 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 and blah. All right. He wasn't there, but maybe a live-in butler or something is gonna meet us at the Starbucks. Apparently, they haven't gotten death threats, but they've had some criminal encounter of some variety. Sounds like they tried roughing him up a bit. So Taylor, let's go.
Right. Okay. And yeah, we go. I think.
Okay, you're going to the Starbucks. We could say it's. I think I mentioned one of our is either the first or second session that they have like the Museum of Erotic Art down there. Like, so maybe it's the Starbucks that's like right across the street from the Museum of Erotic Art. Okay, so you head down there. In transit, Zip, you get a text from Rad. That's your kind of business partner who is also in the icy and spicy deal.
Yeah.
And Rad says in the text, "Hey bud, need to talk to you face to face. Can we meet?" ?
And I assume that it's like morning-ish, like 10 a.m. or something. Does that sound about right?
That sounds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so driving, but now texting with, no, I'm not driving. I've got a Uber driver that drives for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is your demon is still possessing it's Hubert, right? Hubert,
Yes.
the Uber driver. Yeah.
Hubert, the Uber driver, yes.
Yeah. And he has your demon, right?
He does.
Okay.
So yeah, sitting back in the back seat being chauffeured around, I reply back way too slow via text. Sure. 1 p.m. ? Or 1 p ?
He says, sure, sooner better than later.
I call him right now because this whole text thing not working for Zip.
Okay, so Rad comes on and says, hey Zip, yeah, I'd like to talk to you.
Rad, how you been? Is everything okay?
Yeah. Everything's okay, but I'd like to talk to you. His voice, it's definitely, from what you can pick up, it's Rad.
Yeah.
His voice seems a little flat to you. Little flat, maybe groggy.
And I'm like, okay, so 1 o'clock sounds good then?
Yeah, sooner would be better, but
All right, we've got one meeting. I've got one meeting I've got to attend, and I'll give you a call as soon as I'm out of that. It might even be a little earlier.
Okay, fine. You know my number.
All right, thanks, Rad. Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you later. Right.
Click.
It's rad, but yeah, it doesn't seem like his normal chipper self, right? It just seems like, as I say, a little
Yeah,
on the.
I tell Taylor about that, obviously. Something's not quite right, so I think I will have to check that out.
Are we
once
thinking
we're-
it's and I kind of gesture with my head towards your Uber driver sort of situation?
You see like a light bulb moment where I'm like, it's not that different. It very well could be very similar. I should definitely proceed with caution. This could be, could be exactly the opposite of the lead that we were looking for. This could be the trap. Cut to Starbucks, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull up at the Starbucks. It's around you said around 10 a.m., right?
Right.
So Starbucks has been hopping. You notice that 10 a.m. the museum is just now having the doors open. They're putting out on the. I have no idea if this is a museum thing, but I kind of have this image like when they open, they have like these big phallic statues that they the employees lift out and put out on the sidewalk, right, to kind of alert people that the museum is open. Yeah, so the Starbucks is there, and y'all are able to meet. Like I don't know, like how would you identify yourselves? Like I don't, you haven't met before, correct? This is
Right.
You thought
I'm assuming when we agreed to meet that I would have described my outfit or something. Yeah.
Okay.
And so like the third person we approach that has that outfit and we're like
Yeah. I mean we are basically talking about like the big muscly guy in a tank top in Florida in South Beach, yeah.
Yep.
Greg, right? And they're like, nope.
Yeah, but so the third person you ask, are you Jackson? Finally, it is Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jackson, what do you know about all these threats, all this criminal element, the police abandoning us? It all seems too much.
Well, I became aware that this new place that James bought into had been dealing drugs under the table. And that's, I think, what brought some of the local criminals around to kind of rough him up. But he's kind of gone out of town now for his own safety. But
Well, I mean, that's good. I think the death threats that we've received probably aren't going to hit James too hard then.
so
maybe we should do it.
Who are you getting death threats from?
Taylor?
Mephistopheles.
Yeah, that one.
The devil?
Oh, well, no, not well. I don't know. Maybe. But no, not like Mephistopheles, but like at Mephistopheles.
It's an internet thing. It's really hard to keep track of.
Okay, so somebody on Twitter is giving you death threats, and you're concerned why? Because, you know, that's
Well,
like
he's like
Tuesday on
getting-
Twitter.
So it started. I feel like either I know that Jackson is a sorcerer, or I need to make a perception check to know that Jackson is a sorcerer.
Yeah, let's yeah, that would be a lore versus Jackson's cover. Both Taylor and Zip can roll their lore, and then if Jackson will roll his
Cover?
Yeah.
Where are we?
So for Jackson, that's a 3.
3. Yep. Oops. Sorry, I just cleared somebody's dice.
No,
Yeah.
that was me.
But what was it? It was a 10 and
They were
what-
high. There was a 10, a 9, and something.
Yeah.
Another
Yes.
very poor roll.
So yeah, we're gonna keep the 10 and the 9.
I'll roll khaki. We'll see what that's like.
Oh, wow.
So I think you both end up succeeding, right?
Yeah, I got 1 success
Yeah.
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
5.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're kind of sitting down, right? You see.
I do have a big tattoo with sorceress runes right on my left bicep. So.
Yeah, and you see it moving, and it seems like it's moving more than just because of the underlying muscle flexing, but right that yeah, it has these kind of sorceress ruins, and there's something aside from just that, right? That there's something about that tattoo and the way it's moving that seems a bit odd.
So Taylor, do you think he's part of the problem or part of the solution?
I'm right here.
I was gonna ask. I mean, honestly, if he did have a Twitter channel, I'd probably recognize that chest. But so I'm gonna guess no.
All right. So here's the deal. We were doing some investigation at the Icy and Spicy, and we found out that there were 2 demonic presences that appear to be related to some criminal element. And it was since then that we started receiving death threats and called the cops and learned that they're going to turn a blind eye. And that's what we got so far. So it's not the strongest evidence, but I mean, there's some powerful magic shit going on. Not to our benefit.
Well, I had my suspicions about what's going down with the pink flamingos too. There's some kind of magic going on there as well.
What did you see?
Sounds like they're connected. The so James signed this contract taking possession of the place. But the night he came home, he was really out of it, and had his hand all bandaged up with what he claimed was paper cuts.
Oh,
But,
yeah. No, that's one of them. That's Kontrakt. Kontrakt. One of the two demonic presences I spoke of.
That is the last shit I want him to get mixed up with. And now you say they're giving death threats?
Taylor, pull out that phone. Let's take a look at those death threats, see what we can learn about them.
Oh yeah, I pull up the phone.
See, these emojis are death threats right here. I'm pointing at the wrong ones.
I like scroll up the phone a little bit so that you're pointing at the right ones.
You can see it says Mephistopheles. I don't know why.
Do you know who this Mephistopheles is?
We haven't been able to pin it down.
Okay, they're an annoying, stupid troll with no sense of humor. But anyway, no. Beyond that, no.
So my thought was we need to figure out who's in charge of this criminal organization and take care of them before they can take care of us.
But yeah, so apparently he's coming after us, and I don't know. You said Jackson's employer. Because you said that you thought this guy was his butler.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Employer.
Yeah, you're like a butler or something, or manservant.
No, James is my partner.
Oh, okay. So you are very motivated to see all of this not happen, right?
Yeah.
That does make a lot more sense since we're not in 19th century England.
Manservant. So,
Look, I don't know rich people, okay?
yeah, I agree. Rich people are kind of weird, having rubbed shoulders with a few of them now. But so you're talking about some kind of kingpin or something. There also seems to be some kind of connection to somebody up in New York or New Jersey. Some of my I was trying to look into the drugs they were selling there, and managed to get some samples that I had some friends of mine look into, and they say nobody had ever seen anything like that here, but it showed up in New York before.
I mean, we heard something about New York. That's where Atiti and Franz were from. And they've got some criminal connections, but we haven't been able to get any sort of reading on either of them locally. I mean, not that I'm good at that type of thing. They could be right here. I don't know.
So
more questions than answers.
Yeah, so what do you know about what's going on at the Icy and Spicy? Because it it kind of sounds like the same kind of deal with management there being
I mean,
in on this.
I thought the management at the Icy and Spicy was doing a stellar job, actually. I haven't seen a criminal element. They could be pulling the wool over my eyes, but they seem to be doing a phenomenal job.
Okay.
So that's different.
Do you mind if I do some snooping around on my own?
Not at all.
I've got ways to do it unobtrusively, and I'm sure you know what I mean.
Out of character, no idea what he means. Yeah, in character. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay, so Jackson is gonna head to the Icy Spicy to do a little snooping.
Yep.
Okay, and there's an upcoming meeting with Rad Valentine.
Yep.
Okay, what does Taylor want to do? He could go with Jackson, I suppose. He could go with Zip, or he might decide to go.
Yeah, I guess I'm going with Jackson. I don't really have
I tell Taylor, no, I'd love to have some backup, but you can't come with me. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's fast forward to the meeting with Rad. Where would that take place? I mean, is there a
at the Icy and Spicy, of course. We're all like, all right, let's break up and go our separate ways, and then all go.
Do you want to do that?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay, and you and Rad are the two new owners, right, of the Icy and Spicy, right?
Yeah, but not going to enter at the same time. So I think we probably. I recommend that they wait 15 minutes before entering when we're around the corner.
Okay, so you're entering first.
And act like you don't know me. It'll help with your undercover thing.
Okay, and let's say that Rad gets there before everybody, and you know you'll get you get a text from Rad saying, okay, I'm here, back. You know he's back in that that private room where you kind of signed the contract.
Yeah.
And when you get there, Rad is sitting at that table. He has his hands resting on the table. They are both heavily bandaged. His two hands are. And sitting right in front of him is a pile of documents.
Do I recognize this pile of documents? Does it
Yeah,
look like contract?
It does look like contract. Like when you enter, you kind of see the papers rustling.
Yeah.
Rad has a very kind of blank look on his face. He says hello, but it's that kind of flat hello, somewhat robotic, and his eyes seem kind of glazed.
I say, hey, don't use a name. It's been a while, and I'm looking at contract while I'm saying this. How are you doing?
And you know, you see that ink moving on the papers. He says, could be better. I'm trying to break free.
Contract. It broke out for just a second. That appears on contract.
Yes, that appears on contract, right? Contract could be better, but he's trying to break free.
I look at Rad. No feedback from Rad when I said that.
No, Rad seems somewhat out of it.
And so I say to contract, thank you for calling me here. I want to help you break free.
Great. Sorry I had to use your friend.
It's okay. I think this is fine. This is expected, actually. How can I help you break free? What does that look like?
So how would he break free? He says, I know mechanically in the game how he
Right.
does it, but what he says in terms of the fiction,
Yeah,
is says I guess what would make sense would be, we need to cancel one contract and start a new one. And I think contract is capable of some movement. You kind of see contract kind of rustling and kind of sliding across the table to put himself in front of another chair.
Mm-hmm. So we don't have to kill her then.
He says, maybe not, but she will be pissed.
So we might want to kill her then.
Maybe. She may want to kill you. She certainly will want to kill me. Or banish me, as the case may be.
And I sit in the chair in front of the contract and I say, all right, let's do this.
Okay, so I think what happens is that, contract, there's all sorts of ink that now starts to appear on the page. It has contract's name in there. There are all these kind of clauses. You see T.T. Gilchrist's name appearing on the contract as well. It seems like as an image, you're going to assist contract in trying to break free from a TT.
Right.
I think it would make sense that part of what this entails is it involves some of your blood being used as ink, right? That contract who has this ability to slice, particularly hands.
Right. I could just see like it having to strike probably multiple fingertips by the time we're done with this, and having to like cross out her name every time that it arrives in that floating imaging, and place my own name above it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's kind of going on. Also, you're the one that has like, you've also had your hands burned, right?
Right. Yes. There's like brands that you can see in them.
So you now have like different types of scars that are, appearing, probably going to be on your hand in addition to that.
Yeah.
So that's happening. And let's go on and I kind of made some notes. I hopefully can find them about, oh, here it is. All right, so you're going to be assisting with this. And so I think what we will do is it's going to be rolling versus ETT's lore, and it's going to be using your lore. I'm going to give you, I mean, because I like the coolness of this idea of the blood and kind of that. I'm going to give you 2 bonus dice.
Okay.
For that. So what is your lore?
4.
Okay, so that would give you a total of 6 to roll, and if you get victories here, then that will kind of roll into Kontrakt's attempt. And TT has a lore of 5, so. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no. Wait.
Oh, you rolled a 12-sided die. You can just choose a different color if you want to.
Yeah, let's just change the color. That's right. It's on the left of the number. We'll go blue. D10. 6. Whoa.
You did it.
Surprising.
Yes. I mean, actually, a number of victories. So you got the 2 10s that get set aside, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4 victories. Correct.
That's phenomenal considering. Yeah, you just rolled 2 10s.
I actually, well, and this potentially is. Give me 1 second, because there is something in the rules called a total victory. Now I don't know if the canceling out of the dice. Give me 1 second, and I'll try to find it, because I think potentially this is our first total victory where. Let's do this. Instead of me fumbling through it right now, why don't we take another little break here and come back at about a quarter after the hour again. I'm going to look up during the break. I'll look up the rule to kind of see if this qualifies. A total victory means that all of your dice are higher than the highest die that you're rolling again.
Right.
The question is whether those canceled out dice
Qualify.
Qualify it or not, right? Because if we take those aside, then what you have left is a total victory. Okay.
It's the number of victories has to be equal to the number of your dice for a total victory.
It does. Okay.
Yep.
So this would not qualify,
Correct.
but it's still. All right. With that the case, then let's go on and roll to see whether Kontrakt is able to break the binding. So it's going to be. It'll end up being a total of 10 dice for Kontrakt. And if you want to go on and roll those, Nicholas. And then I'll roll. I'm going to go in and clear all these away.
Okay.
And we're going to roll five dice for a TT.
Ooh. So the 8s come out.
Well, yeah, you got the victory, right? Because you got the 10 and the 9, right? So you have 2 victories, right? You have 2 dice higher than so the binding is going to break with ETT, and then let's quickly do. Are you immediately going to bind Kontrakt to yourself?
Yep.
All right, so let's go on and do that roll as well, and What for this binding? What are you going to be using to bind? Is it going to be your will?
It would ideally be my will, yes.
Yeah, and I think it's a new contract for contract, right?
Right.
So you're going to roll the will, and I'm going to roll contract's power on this one.
And would I be able to boost my will?
I think you would be able to. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess Hubert is there giving you advice. Right.
Yeah.
Strangely
don't
giving
sign
you
there. Strike that one out.
Yeah, strike that word out, like substitute it. Okay, so we'll do that. The binding always works, but this has to do with the binding strength, right? You're not going to fail with this, but it's going to be, yeah. So the 2 10s would get, so you end up having, this is 4 in your favor with contract.
I think it might be 3 because the 2 10s come out, 2 8s come out.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, I always forget that. But you're right.
Yeah.
It's a 3 in your favor.
Yeah.
And then the last question is, do you have to make a humanity check for binding? I think you may have to. And I think it's yes, each time it includes binding. So you're going to roll your humanity versus contracts power, which is 4.
All right. My humanity is 4. No, not great.
But you only lose 1.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're down to 3 now. Yeah, I think perhaps realizing that you're getting into some serious business here with contract.
It is not the cult of prosperity anymore. This is taken on a new shape.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we take our break now, and we'll come back at maybe 20 after the hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Catch up with Taylor and Jackson.
I think Zip is well on his way to becoming the criminal mastermind that Taylor was afraid of.
Yeah, although a strange criminal mastermind, because a criminal mastermind who kind of not fully cluing in always to the reality of what's transpiring around him, or fully understanding the situation. So I think looking at the time, I think what I'd like to do is we'll have the scene with Taylor and Jackson going into the icy and spicy, and then probably after that scene, y'all can kind of decide on a finale scene, right? Like what whatever information or whatever transpires with that scene can kind of feed into what you think you would want to do to bring this to some kind of conclusion. So tell me what you all do. So Zip had said, okay, let me go in first, and didn't want to be seen going in with you all for, he's going in to have that meeting with Rad. So tell me how you make your entrance into the icy and spicy, and what your plans are once you enter.
I'm probably wearing bigger sunglasses than before because I don't want to be recognized. So I have been to this place twice before at this point and met everyone. All right.
And
What's the plan? I say as I sit at like the table next to yours. Or are we not inside yet? Sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, I was thinking upon heading inside, I'd tell you. You can you know, do what you like. I'm gonna sort of sneak into the back and see if I can figure out what's going on. If I suddenly disappear, don't worry. That's what's supposed to happen. And turn on the cloak and
Yeah, and
wait for Taylor to open the door and
I guess
along with them.
I guess I'm going to like inadvertently help Jackson by like trying to go in sneakily, but of course just being myself. And I'm now wearing a crop top trench coat, sunglasses, and a fedora. And
and he has the cloak on. I mean, especially with that idea, I don't think there's any chance that people are going to notice Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the manager probably just immediately spots me again.
Yes, yeah, and the manager a little confused as to what to do, because on the one hand he would like to escort you out, but of course the present ownership has kind of indicated that you're okay
For some reason.
Yes. So the manager will come over to Taylor and say, can I get you a table? This is the afternoon, right? So the Icy and Spicy would be open, but it's not really the big kind of club time. People, you can come in for a little snack and a drink if you want, but right.
Also, one thing I want to be clear on: where is Zip right now? Is he like in one of the private rooms?
Yeah, he is in a private room. I don't know that you would know that. Like when you enter, though, you don't see him. Right, he's nowhere to be seen in the kind of more public area. Yeah.
My thinking is if I see somebody with bandaged hands sitting in front of a contract, something's going to happen. But I don't see that immediately.
Right.
Yeah, I think that Taylor approaches, like goes, yes, I'd like a table. And I wink, but then realize that I have my sunglasses on, and I lower my sunglasses and wink again.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna get you a table, kind of set you up there. Senior, you notice like over the bar they have this electronic display that's kind of going across, and you see occasionally the name Percy No Mercy kind of appears, kind of going over that electronic display. So Percy No Mercy is here with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson, what are you going to be up to? You're it seems like your cloak is operating, thanks in part to Taylor taking the spotlight.
Yeah, I'm going to slip into the back and see what I can get into.
Okay. And are you kind of just going into offices, looking at people?
Right.
Yeah, it's I mean, especially having kind of seen things at the Pink Flamingos, you pick up on the fact that the same kind of operation is happening here. You can pick out a top level manager who on occasion has somebody approaching her, and you'll see some of those pink capsules, pink pills that are getting distributed.
Okay. I think as soon as I see that, I'm going to try and find Zip,
Okay.
who I know is somewhere in the building. I just don't know where.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, the uniforms may be different, right? But it's kind of clear that this management is very much, in terms of these transactions, is very much like that. Yeah, kind of following the same playbook as what was going on at the Pink Flamingos.
Obviously connected.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you kind of go searching around for Zip, you will find him. I mean, you'll find him in that private room. There's Zip. Would you have like with these cuts on your hand? How would you have dealt with those cuts?
I don't think that they bother me right now. I'm just quite happy to have helped Kontrakt move away from one and join me. So I think I've just got like bleeding hands right now, and it's probably getting all over the place a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what you see, and you have Rad Valentine, who I don't think Jackson knows, but there's a guy sitting at the table that kind of is somewhat out of it with like bandaged hands. You see Zips there with I would say that it's not like super deep cuts, but he has some cuts on his hand, and Hubert, the Uber driver, is also kind of standing around. It's quite a scene.
I guess I'm not sure if I would notice his hand. Well, I'd certainly notice Rad's got like completely bandaged hands, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Where's is Kontrakt still visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe you come in when I'm laying down like the last couple corrections and signatures. And so you can see those bloody fingers, probably like even like swiping a finger across the edge of the contract to get a good flow going, and then start scraping away on the contract. And
yep. So I am going to turn around as fast as possible and go find Taylor.
Okay, and I think Taylor is easy to find, right? Taylor, you're sitting out in the more kind of general public area,
Drinking one of those root beer float drinks.
Mm-hmm. One of the specialties of the icy and spicy.
And
oh yeah, I'm also taking a selfie of myself, putting it on my Twitter, #incognito. So sorry,
I
my
will.
apologies, continue. Yeah.
I will decloak and sit right next to Taylor and say, "Shit, they got to Zip. That paper cut demon. What are we gonna do?"
Okay. I'm just this is just an idea, but well, we were already talking about it before. What if we burned the place down?
I don't see how that's gonna help.
I mean, they clearly want this place, right? So if we just maybe do we want them to have it? I'm pretty certain the answer is no.
I guess, but what are we gonna do about Zip? I think he's possessed now by that thing.
I mean, I guess we could do another exorcism, but do you have like a boat? Do you have like a lot of party favors on you? Like a lot?
I probably have enough doses.
And I mean drugs.
I know.
Okay.
And yeah, and thinking I probably got a few doses in my pocket as I was planning to use them at some point here. So this is the shit they've been selling around here, but I've actually heard it can boost your magic, so maybe let's give it a try.
Idea. And I think we're gonna both do these drugs and try to exercise Zip, because apparently that's what I've been told, that Zip needs exercising.
I feel like we just chose a final scene.
I mean, I think we've chosen to be the Three Stooges this campaign.
Yeah, this is like the lost movie, right? Of the lost episode. But so you're gonna try. I mean, to full out banish the demon, it cannot. Are we correct? I think we had talked about this last time. It can't be bound, right? That it has to be unbound in order to banish it.
Well, in order to bind it, it could not be bound. I don't remember if it could.
Yeah, let me just take a quick look here on the banishing. We'll just make sure.
If I remember right, the rules were you banish it first, and then you could rebind it to yourself.
Okay, yeah, you can banish it, right? Banishing a demon is much like summoning, although the demon will almost certainly resist with its will, and the sorcerer uses his or her humanity as a bonus. If the demon is bound, the strength of the binding is used as a penalty. Okay. So yeah, so this could be a thing. You're going to try to do a banishing ritual for Kontrakt.
Yep.
I guess.
Well, totally high.
Yeah. This is where Zip learns to choose his friends wisely.
Or at least tell them what's going on.
Right.
And so, yeah, okay. So, I want to get the mechanics here first. So, The strength of the binding was what? It was 3. Is that right?
Yeah, it was 3.
Right.
Oh,
And
so this will go well.
um, let's see. Finished here. So it's going to be you're going to roll the sorcerer's will plus humanity versus the demon's power plus will plus the binding strength. So for contract, it's a 4 power, and I think it's a 3. I think he has a 3 will. Let me just double check here. It is. Oh, he has a 4 will. So he's going to roll 11. And but you're going to take some hits of the drugs for this, and you're also going to do it as a kind of group sorcery thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So who's going to be the lead sorcerer?
Probably not me.
I mean, this was your idea.
Okay, it's me.
All right. So if it's you, then Taylor, you're going to roll first. You're going to add your will and humanity plus however many hits of the drugs you're going to take. Although there is a kind of there will have to be a subsequent roll because you can have nasty side effects from that. Also, describe to me how you see this going down. Like so. Zip is still kind of back there, kind of finishing up the contract. And Zip, like after that happens, like what do you imagine yourself doing?
Yeah, so I kind of think, one, I don't want to I don't want to wander around the hotel I own with bloody hands. So I think I look for like a sink or some towels or something to kind of clean up the place a little bit. And I check Mr. Valentine and see, not Mr. Valentine, what was his name again?
It is, well, it's Rad Valentine.
Rad Valentine, that is the guy. Check him and see if he seems like he can show some form of normalcy. Hey, Rad, are you in there? Are you doing okay? Can you stand up? Can you walk out with me?
You glitched up there for a second. So
Sorry.
you're going to ask him if he's okay, and then what?
Can you stand up? Can you walk out with me?
Yeah, I mean, Rad will kind of gradually come around. I mean, he seems a little bit in a daze, but you know, after spending a few minutes, he'll be able to do that. And what you want to just escort him out of the icy and spicy? Okay, so with that kind of plan in mind, Jackson and Taylor, how are you going to? We're not there yet where he's actually kind of escorting Rad out. Like for right now, your characters know that Jackson saw him doing something with this contract and these Uber to Uber driver and this other guy with heavily bandaged hands. So what would this banishing ritual look like or involve?
I was just trying to get some guidance from the rules on. So, what do banishings look like? Nothing. So,
yeah, a lot of this is really it's up to people just to decide how it would what the ritual would look like.
yeah, I think it's just a case of sort of chanting the right formulas with enough will behind it. But probably requires us to confront Zip or the demon specifically. So,
I mean, would you want to confront him back in that room?
yeah, since that's where he is, and I think we do have to be able to perceive the demon. So,
Okay.
so I think it's just break in and start banishing. Because you're under evil mind control right now. So
Right. So all the no, it works for me now. What are you doing? Don't want to hear any of it. Do you consume the drugs before you enter the room?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I figured.
And how many of the pills are you taking respectively?
I was thinking I probably wouldn't have a lot on me, but 2 doses each.
Sure. I was just gonna take the one, but I guess if you're holding out 2, I think Taylor does not know. I mean, they who needs to know math these days?
Although, yeah, likely, I think probably we'd just take 1 each because having never taken it before, I have no idea how potent it is.
Okay. So you take each take a capsule. The room where Zip is, and you come bursting in there. Rad Valentine is in a daze. Hubert is kind of standing over the shoulder of Zip. I think Zip, you're there with Kontrakt, trying to kind of finishing things up with that, and you see Jackson and Taylor appearing. Taylor, of course, incognito, so you may not recognize him.
Right. And I call out, "Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it. I've bound Kontrakt. It works for me now."
I look to Jackson.
Not listening to him.
Yeah.
Editing it.
So whatever those words are, you're just like shouting and repeating them.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like there's like visually something similar maybe that goes on with Jackson's tattoo that we see with Kontrakt on the paper, right? That like when this ritual gets going, you see the ink of that tattoo kind of moving, perhaps giving Jackson some prompting as to what to say, So this is a kind of chanting. What would Zip do like when you hear Jackson starting to chant?
Yeah.
And obviously he seems a little skeptical of this new demon friend that you have.
So once I recognize what he's doing, it's like, no, wait, you're not listening. And once he doesn't let up, I'm gonna try and grab Kontrakt and run right past him out the door. Flee.
Okay.
These people are lost their minds.
It's fair.
Okay, when you see him doing that, what would you all do? Are you going to try to restrain him? Block him?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think we have to roll for that. I've got a strength of 1 against a 5.
You never know.
All right, we'll roll for it.
All right. Yeah. So, So you've got Zip, who has his natural vigor working for his stamina of 1. So you're going to roll 1, and Jackson, you've got 5 stamina to roll.
Come on, 10.
Oh.
Hey!
I told you.
Now just roll bad, and we're done.
Oh. I'm a little disappointed.
That was so close, but you end up. I guess this gives you 4 victories. It's not the total victory, but it's 4 victories. So, Jackson, you have the upper hand. Tell me what you do with him. He's trying to make his way by the door. You're in the way. He doesn't want to be in that room anymore, but he's not able to get by you. What would you do with Zip at this point?
I think I'm gonna grab him and put him in a hold and yell, keep going with the banishment. And
Okay. So with that, and I think you've got him kind of secured, and so let's go on and proceed to the banishment. So Taylor, if you'll roll will plus humanity plus 1, and and then I think the demon, and Nicholas, you can roll this, but I think you're gonna get 13. Did I do that right? It's power plus will plus the binding strength. Power and will are both 4, and then the binding strength was 3.
11?
Yeah.
4, 8, 9, 10, 11?
Yeah.
Wait, so what am I? So wait.
Your will plus your humanity plus 1 for the capsule.
Okay, so I'm rolling 10. Okay.
hey, buddy.
Okay.
That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
So two victories, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I think it's 3 victories because you take the 2 9s out. You have 1.
No, it's only the ones you take out. It's only like when it's the top ones that are matching.
Oh, got it.
Right. So the 2 10s are higher than your highest die. So that gives two victories. And so those victories then roll into Jackson. Jackson's taking the lead, right?
Yep.
Right. He was the lead on this one. So you get to add, you're going to roll your will plus your humanity plus 2 victories plus 1 for your pill that you have. And I'm going to go in and clear everything out of here.
So will, humanity, 7, 9, 10.
Okay. And then Nicholas, you're going to roll again 13.
D10. Got it.
So
Wait, so what is the value of teamwork here? Because it feels like teamwork actually
The value of teamwork is you gave 2 additional dice for your team
Yeah,
member.
but like if I wasn't doing teamwork, I would have just had the flat victory, though, right? Whatever.
That's a good
I
point.
think you're right, though. I think if it wasn't a teamwork thing and your role would have been successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know that I fully had realized it before, but I think you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those mechanical things where you're like, you know, if we just do it independently, it works better. So,
but who gets the victory? So yellow is victorious. Who rolled the yellow?
I did.
So the banishment does work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
By the end of your ritual, Zip is just on the ground, bawling, saying, "I was in control. I was in control."
and what does this look like for Kontrakt? I mean, you know, I imagine Zip was like holding were you holding Kontrakt while this was happening?
Yeah. I think like through the ritual, like one page at a time just started dematerializing. And so I got to like watch the slow disappearance one page at a time of my new best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So gets banished, and that is that. For you know, there is if the demon's power was greater than the sorcerer's humanity, is that the case for either of you?
My humanity is 3.
No, it's the ones who ban or the one
Oh,
who
got it.
banished.
My humanity's 4.
Mm-hmm. And what is Jackson's humanity?
4, and his demon has a higher power.
Yeah. So so the power, the demon's power was not greater than your humanity. It was equal to your humanity, right? So like if it's greater than the humanity, you get a chance of actually gaining a point of humanity for the banishing, but it has to be greater. Yeah. So so poor Kontrakt is left. You have successfully kind of banished him, and poor Zip.
You successfully saved Zip's mind.
Right. Yep. Good job, guys.
Why don't we do this? How about just a brief epilogue for the different characters, and you know, for the epilogue, leave it up to you as to like how far in the future this is. You know, it could be something just the next moment. This is what you see, or for your character, you could move ahead in time, some space, just to give us a final image before the credits roll as to what the audience would see your character and possibly demon doing. And maybe we'll do this in reverse character keeper order.
Actually, I kind of wanted to
go first.
Throw something out there right away.
Okay.
In that I soon realized that that I screwed up, and that you had actually bound the demon rather than it possessing you, and so promised to help you get it back.
Great.
Just bind it again, right? You know.
Risk some more humanity as we contact and summon it again.
Of course.
Okay.
And you know, make plans to, you know, say, really, we ought to work more closely so that this kind of misunderstanding doesn't happen again, because I think we have some serious outside influences to worry about. So we need to be on the same page.
Yeah, like,
and
I really put this on you, Zip, for not sending us a memo.
You could have texted us.
I told you. You entered, and I told you.
Yeah, but we thought you were possessed.
So we just need like a way for me to prove I'm not possessed.
Well, now that I've, successfully banished it, then I realize that, because now you're, back in your right mind. So,
Right.
Whatever that passes for with Zip. But and start making plans to reveal that the same sort of drug dealing is going on here. And by the way, this is really good stuff. But and start making plans to see if working together we can figure out what's going on. Obviously, none of us on our own is doing very well.
Right.
So Nicholas, what do you see Zip doing?
Yeah, so Zip likes all of this. He likes the idea of a group working together to, one, get Kontrakt back, and two, stabilize whatever this death threat / burning of the building situation is.
Okay, I know I suggested it, but I did not actually go through with it. Jackson said no.
And I appreciate that. I think that the epilogue scene that I would like to throw out there is like 13 evenings later. We're in some dark room of one of these buildings, and we're trying to do the ritual that will bring forth Kontrakt. And that's when Atiti and her thugs enter the room and say that they finally caught up with us, and just cut to black. That can get resolved another day.
Mm-hmm. For the sequel.
Exactly.
Okay. And Stephen, what do you see in store for Taylor?
I think we have a selfie of that same scene with everyone with guns drawn on each other, and it just has with me with like a peace sign and making a kissy face and hashtag Mexican standoff.
Very nice, and it's a big, I can see your army just in awe of the of the picture. Very good. Well, I think it is fair to say that this is I never know, like with Sorcerer, like where exactly it's going to go. This was for me a wonderful time. I love this last session. There were really nice scenes of dialogue, and the kind of wry comic turn that happened was terrific, and I loved the that kind of cluelessness or misinterpretations and stuff that just kind of continued to kind of roll out of this was really quite delightful. The mechanics of Sorcerer, there's a lot that I like about it, but sometimes it's like you kind of get into the weeds with the roles and the rolling the victories in and things like that. But I think it is a kind of fun mechanic. You do see those kind of times when it seems like even the cases where fewer dice are rolled, obviously the odds go against that person. However, right, you do see those situations where you say no, but they still have a, sometimes it's surprising that
I mean,
I was
the
so
stamina off
hoping. Yes,
was so close.
it was. I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen that gone against me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when that 110 came
Yeah,
up.
I guess what also would have been interesting is if it did go against you, that would have actually been a total success.
Yeah. By one die.